Devil's advocate. It's PDA. It's hard to say. Devil's advocate.
We never refer to a female cookies. We call it the P.S.'s because we call them cushions. We don't speak ill of the dead. Hope you won't be offended by the things that are said. Playing devil's advocate, and now I'm here to judge you. That's what your true thoughts you work where I love you. Everybody's kissing, nobody's tripping. Just like you crazy, everybody's slipping. It's like so crazy. Run and tell your friends you on the right side. There's no need to pretend. It's an open forum, never done before. It's a future mission. This is a no cousin. You can learn something, no bugging. Now it's a charge to switch for the buzzing. We don't really care. Is it right or you're wrong? The machine is the myth. It was every time it's found.
It's hard to say. It's hard to say. Devil's advocate. It's PDA. It's hard to say. Devil's advocate.
As we go a little something like this. Hit it!
At some point, you will be offended by something said on this show. But playing devil's advocate is meant to be a forum for open, honest, and more importantly, judgment-free dialogue. The opinions expressed here may not necessarily be those of the host or the show in general, but we're willing to have the uncomfortable conversations so that we can heal and find solutions for our listeners and quite possibly even ourselves. Enjoy the show.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Playing Devil's Advocate. I am your host, Miss KiKi, the consummate provocateur, and for the next 120 minutes, we are going to edutain you. That means for the next 2 hours, you are going to be educated and entertained, and before I can get into any of that, I need to take care of a little housekeeping, and that's by letting you guys know who have just joined us that we are here each and every Wednesday night at 7 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Central, and 10 p.m. to you guys on the East Coast. If you happen to miss a live broadcast of the show, fret not. You can always go to the iTunes store, type in our name, Playing Devil's Advocate, subscribe to our podcast. It's free of charge. So whenever we do a show, you will get a show. It's just that simple. And while you're there in the iTunes store, if you would be so kind as to type in my name, KiKi Richardson, and download yourself a copy of my book, The Other Woman Code of Conduct, What Every Other Woman Should Know, and Men Too, I greatly appreciate it. It's not free, but it's well worth the money. Trust and believe that. But if you don't have access to the iTunes store, no worries. We have you covered. All you have to do is go to KiKiRichardson.com, and there you will be able to download any archive shows, purchase merchandise, any PDA swag that we have. You can also purchase a copy of my book, find out about me, the other hosts of the show, co-hosts on the show, our guests, our experts, all that stuff. Right there on KiKiRichardson.com. And if this is your first time and you do not know, we are a fully interactive show, which means we are completely driven by you, the listener. Well, not completely, mostly driven by you, the listener. So we value your input, and we make it easy for you to make your input available to us. You can send us a tweet at PDA_Miss KiKi. That's PDA _ Miss KiKi. You can follow us there, send us tweets, we'll get your comment on the air, or you can post to our Facebook wall at facebook.com/Playing Devil's Advocate. That's facebook.com/Playing Devil's Advocate, and we will get your comment on there. While you're there on Playing Devil's Advocate on Facebook, you can click the link so that you can watch us live streaming on YouTube via Google Hangouts. And right there on our YouTube stream, we have an interactive chat room right there, so you can be a part of the conversation there as well. And if that wasn't enough, you can give us a call at 347-237-5271. Press 1 so that our producer knows you're in the queue and you have something you would like to share with us, and we will get your comment on air. And if that's not enough, we Periscope Live. We do all that stuff right here. So we're fully interactive. No excuse for you not to be a part of the conversation. And speaking of being a part of the conversation, I think it's time that I bring my crew that rides shotgun with me each and every week in on this conversation. And let's see who I will bring out first. Ladies and gentlemen, she hails from my hometown, the Windy City, and she is a fallen angel. And if you don't know how or why she fell from grace, she coined the phrase lupus for amateurs. Ladies and gentlemen, please help me and welcome in Miss Sporty, Spunky Angel. What's up, girlie?
Hey,
What's
KiKi,
going
what's
on?
going on, girl?
Girl, you know life is
I'm
love,
ready.
love is life. You ready
It
for
is.
tonight?
No,
No, you're not ready. Well, you better get ready.
you get it? No.
Ah, cute.
Oh my God, so slow.
Yeah, I can be sometimes. I really can be. But not half as slow as this next person I'm about to bring in. Okay, he
Okay.
is. He thinks he's something like a pimp because he calls himself Slap, but we have truly uncovered that he is absolutely nothing like a pimp. Ladies and gentlemen, please help us and welcome into the show, Mr. Andreas, absolutely nothing like a pimp Ferguson. What's going on, Andreas?
I'm just here to tell all you cats, all you guys, all you girls that's pimping, but it's something that I gotta do. How y'all feel tonight?
With my hands.
Okay, first of all, nothing that you said made any sense, so I'm just gonna go ahead and move it right on along. All right, so now that I've got these two clowns in here and Andreas is paying attention to his notes in terms of, because, you know, in case y'all don't know, Andreas, I think, has late onset adult ADD. And I'm just saying, this is what I thought. I have just diagnosed him in my own mind. He just, and I think he has a small taste of Tourette's. What you think, Sporty?
I think he's got a large case.
I said
See,
Sporty. Why is he talking? I don't
because he's
understand.
proving your point. He's proving your point, honey. That's all. It's okay.
Okay. Um,
Girl.
I don't know what his problem is. Well, I'm gonna keep on. I'm gonna keep on keeping on with the rest of our show. For those of you guys who just may be joining us, this is Playing Devil's Advocate. Tonight's show, our topic is the power of no. And, you know, this is for those people who've ever been called a people pleaser, or, you know, they find themselves being a pushover. You know, if you've ever found yourself in a position where you are saying yes when you really want to say no. We're going to talk about how saying yes to others can sometimes be at the expense of saying no to yourself. And that in and of itself is not a good thing. And we're going to talk about ways how saying no can be empowering and how crucial the power of no is when it comes to assisting you in living your best life and being your best self. So I know y'all like, oh, that sounds real heavy, KiKi. Well, if you've ever listened to Playing Devil's Advocate before, you know no topic is safe from jokes. We will find a way to laugh at anything because this is edutainment. You know what I mean?
Right.
So, I'm going to start this out and ask each one of you guys. And I'll start with you, Andreas. The question is, have you ever found yourself saying yes when you really wanted to say no?
I have on a lot of occasions because I think I'm one of the type of people that just like to that want to satisfy everybody sometimes to my own demise. Got lots of friends, but
done it. I haven't done it as much now as I used to. But I get
Okay. 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 All I needed was a yes or a no, but that's okay. I appreciate you. I appreciate your thoroughness. What what about you, Sporty? Have you ever found yourself saying yes when you really wanted to say no?
Absolutely.
And let me ask you, since Andreas went down that path, when do you find yourself doing that the most? Like he said, he finds himself doing it most with family and friends or friends. Who do you find that you end up doing it more for?
Um, Probably family.
Family?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I want to say big shout out to Combat Medic. I see you over there. Um, and Louis, Darkside. What's up, Poppy? Um, I want to say big shout out to you guys who are hanging out in our BTR chat room. If you want to come on over to our YouTube stream, feel free. I will post that link in the chat for you guys so that you can be a part of our conversation here today as well. So one of the things that what compels you to say yes when you really want to say no? Do you think, and oh, go ahead, Sporty. Go ahead and answer it because I hear you chomping at the bit. Go for it.
Well, no, one of the things I was going to say is that I notice for myself that when I wind up saying yes, it's because it's two reasons. Reason one would be to keep down confusion, and reason two is it's a means to an end. I wind up doing it. It's like the lesser of two evils. There's a reason why I do it. 50% of the time I regret it, but sometimes and in the midst I want to say, damn, I should have just said hell no, but I wind up doing it anyway. So yeah.
Okay. I just read over in our YouTube chat. Leon said this show is definitely for him because he has a hard time saying no, and if he says no, he usually lets someone talk him out of it. And and then, okay, of course, Mr. Chalmers says there was that one time I said I do. That shit was a big mistake. They said, "Did you take this?"
I am not going to comment on air.
What's up, Doug Love? I see you from Oklahoma. But yeah, I think that a lot of times people tend to say yes when they want to say no is because, one of the reasons, like you said, to keep down confusion. But I think it's often that tendency to want to please, other people. Andreas?
That makes sense too.
Okay, because Andreas got a whole nother conversation going on in the back of his. I need him to get his life. Yeah, I think it's that overwhelming need to please other people and to not be the bad guy. And I want to talk about some of the pros and cons of saying no. So we're gonna talk about some of the cons first. What are the bad things that can happen from saying no? Can come from saying no. Off the top of my head, can't think of anything. So I'm going to leave it to you. I'm going to let you start it out. Then when Andreas gets his life, and then I'm going to read some of the stuff in the chat room, too, and I'm going to see what they have to say.
So you saying the bad things that can happen from saying no, from telling somebody no.
Yeah.
You absolutely lose friendships. And a prime example of that is, say for instance, I should say lose acquaintances or supposed friends. Because say for instance, you and I were just acquaintances, and you said, and I said to you, you know what, hey Kiki, I know I ain't talked to you in a long time, but I need $1,500 to, pay for this trip or blah, 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 whatever the case the bullshit is I'm spewing at you at the moment, and you tell me no. And the first thing I say to you is, well, what kind of friend are you? The one that's not going to give you $1,500 to just blow and think it's okay for you to ask me for it in the first place.
Well, I know how you said you started out with the whole you lose friends or whatever, but a friend will understand why you say no. I don't think that a person that...
not.
Note I said friend.
Okay.
Because friendships are reciprocal. People who just want something from you with never, if they're constantly making withdrawals from the friendship bank but never making any deposits, they're not friends.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
True. I get that.
That's what I'm saying. If you lose a person because you've said no to them, then I don't think that person was really there for the purpose in which they say they weren't. Is that a bad
well, what
thing?
if they were your family? Yeah, it's bad to some.
Family.
It's bad.
Here's the thing. Are they a relative or are they family? Because relative is something that is by blood. Your family is who you make it.
Relative. Let's go relative.
Okay. Okay, so you said no to a relative. You saying you got a relative, you told them no, and now they not talking to you?
Oh, I got.
Is that what you're saying?
Absolutely.
I'm saying, is that what fuck them.
Yeah, I mean, I stand behind my no, but yeah.
Yeah, because here's the thing.
They get angry, but they mad at you for telling them no, for not solving their bullshit, for not enabling their drama. So yeah.
I mean,
they pissed at me.
And the bad, I guess in that instance you can say that the bad thing that comes from that is that you have broken familial relationships. You have or what do people call it? Estranged, family members due to that. But at the end of the day,
you care about those people.
You do, but at the end of the day, you have to care about you more. I mean, ultimately, at the end of the day, now I'm not just saying every time somebody says something to you, you like, no, hell no, You know what I mean?
Okay. Okay. Well, then let me ask you this, Coach KiKi. Yeah, I went there. Let me ask you this, Coach KiKi. So I have this relative that I've said no to, and I love this relative, but I'm not going to, give. And you say to me, fuck them, oh well, and then I come back to you, Coach KiKi. Well, that's easier said than done. What's your response then?
I'll ask you, which do you think is easier for you? Which do you think is the best outcome for you? Not for the other person. Is the best outcome for you to say yes, not mean it, be disgruntled the entire time, and not be happy with yourself, be mad at yourself because you did it, or said yes to it, or to say no and then have to deal with their emotional crap at your leisure when it comes to them? Which is the best scenario for you?
Well, the best scenario, of course, is they can, I deal with their bullshit when I feel like it.
Well, I don't mean, and I don't mean specifically you. I'm just saying in general for people to put these things really in perspective. Because oftentimes when we're making the decision to say yes, we're not making the decision to say yes based on us. We're actually saying no to ourselves and yes to the other person. And we've got to learn, because we've been conditioned in the society to believe that it's selfish to think of me first, right? But sometimes one of the most selfless things you can do is to actually be selfish, because you have to say yes to you first so that you can be in a position to be of service to other people. Now, you want to be of service. You don't want to be a doormat. You don't want to be their backup plan or, their go-to, because people are energy and resource vampires. They will use you the F up if you sit around and let them. For those of you guys who just may be joining us, this is Playing Devil's Advocate. I am your host, Miss KiKi, the consummate provocateur. And today we are talking about the power of no. N-O. What part don't you understand, right? And with that being said, we are empowering you to say yes to being a part of the conversation. We are asking you to go on over to our Facebook page at facebook.com/playingdevilsadvocate. Make your comments there. You can click the link so you can watch us on YouTube. We have quite a few people over there on YouTube, and I'm not going to forget about your comments that you have posted over there. I will get to those in just a second. If you want to send us a tweet, you can do so at PDA_Miss Kiki. Our username is PDA_Miss Kiki. And you can also give us a call at 347-237-5271. Only press 1 if you want to be in the queue to talk to us. If you don't want to talk to us, don't press anything. Just sit there and listen. Now, some of the comments that I'm reading here in the chat room, and if you're watching me on YouTube, you're probably like, Kiki, what are you looking at? I'm looking at the computer. They're saying Kiki hit the nail on the head about not wanting to look like the bad guy. That's one of my problems, not wanting to look like the bad guy. I think the problem with not looking, you're the bad guy to yourself. Because you have to end up looking at yourself in the mirror, or you're depleting yourself in such a way and giving to others and not giving to yourself. So who do you want to be the bad guy to? Or who do you care the most about being the bad guy to? It comes down to that. It says, hey, Sporty, Ron, what's up? He said, I'm like, dude, I said I do, and I should have said no, but the booty got me. And then they're quoting me. They said, stop overdrafting on the friendship bank and put some back in. Oh, they're paying attention to what I'm saying, girl.
Yes, they are.
My words. I'm not going to say that, Ron, about the TV show. And the reason why I'm not going to say that is because one of my good friends is actually one of the head writers over there. So I'm not going to even say anything about that. Not saying no can not only cost you financially, but time too. It can cost you emotionally. It can cost you physically. What's up, Big West? I see you. Yeah, they said the booty. Oh, Wes agreed with him. He's like, the booty gets us all.
Indeed, indeed.
I'm hearing that we have some callers in the queue. I want to go to our caller in the queue and see what it is that they have to say about our topic. They're calling from the 917. I think this is Leon in our queue. I think it's Leon in our queue. Let me see. What's up? Is this Leon? Hey, Daddy-O, go ahead and hang on, Sporty. Give me your comment.
Okay, I wanted to just give my personal story. It's embarrassing, and I'm trying to fight the embarrassment, but I think it's an important lesson for people to hear about. For those who were in the YouTube, I was the one that said about like how not sticking to saying no can not only cost you financially, but time. And this is like a personal story where, well, I guess it's a former friend of mine now, basically, she asked me to lend her money. And the thing was that I initially did say no. And unfortunately, just as, I don't know if it was you or if it was Sporty who said the thing about like, oh, well, if you don't do this, you're not my friend, blah, blah, blah. And then I unfortunately let her, you know, break down my defenses as far as like saying no. So then I ultimately gave in. And, you know, she was just like saying, oh, you know, I promise I'm going to pay you back. And then, you know, we even drew up like a promissory note. So I think she had like about a year to pay it off. Didn't make one payment during the month. And long story short, like I ended up having her going to small claims court to get the money back. And like all that time, all that money could have been avoided if I would have stuck to saying no. So I guess my question to you and to Sporty is, how do you stick to your guns when you say no? Because like I said, I did say it in the beginning, but my problem was that I didn't stick to it. Like I let her guilt me into like, you know, oh, you know, I need to help my kid, blah, blah, blah.
Mm-hmm.
How do you find that I guess that
right. Here's the big one, And maybe we'll see if Sporty agrees with me, if she comes up with something differently, because I may be coming from the Coach Kiki's perspective of it all. But here's the beauty of sticking to that no, and finding how to know when to do it, is when your spidey senses tell you no, your first instinct is your subconscious speaking to you, and it's telling you that for a reason. Now, we as human beings want to interject our own crap, right? We start listening to this other internal dialogue, or the guilt, or somebody else's crap that will try to, get us away from our first mind. But follow your first instinct. When your first instinct tells you no, when that gut says mm-mm, then stick to that. That's how you force yourself to stick to it, because there is a reason why your energy is telling you stay away from it. I don't know, Sporty, you want to touch on that?
I mean, I agree, and the only thing I was going to say is that people need to remember that human beings are the only mammals that sense danger and continue to go towards it.
Yeah.
All other animals take cover. Mm-hmm.
Oh, and unfortunately, I kind of let the guilt break it down.
Yeah. You're not the only one. So first, let me say to you, well, second, after answering your question, let me say to you, Leon, don't be embarrassed by that, because you're not the first person to ever have that happen. Because if you were the first person, you would have been the first and only person ever taking a friend to small claims court. There are a lot of fees being collected by cities and counties all over the country that are being paid for small claims court. So don't be embarrassed about it. Second of all, this is a judgment-free zone. We're all family. We don't judge you. And then finally, it takes something strong, I think, for somebody to set up and say, hey, I've done this, and what can I do to keep myself from doing it in the future? Because you're saying to me as a coach, I recognize something in myself that I don't necessarily like, or I would like to change, and give me some tools so that I can do that, so I can be a better version of me. And so no reason to be ashamed, no reason to be embarrassed. So thank you and kudos to you.
Absolutely.
I see you back in the chat room, Daddy-O. That's a great question, though, because a lot of people, Sporty, I don't know if Andreas is back yet, but I know that there are a lot of people who struggle with that guilt within themselves after saying no. Mm-hmm. And then they allow somebody else. Oh, Andreas, he's come back to us. You just what?
While I get my technical difficulties in order, and you know what? I think I've just made a breakthrough. So I can get on the stream in like 5 minutes.
Congratulations.
Okay, Poppy, for having a breakthrough. He had a tech breakthrough. All right. Here's the thing, though. Can you think of another con? And maybe Andreas, do you? We'll give him a moment to work through his tech issue. Mm-hmm. Can you think of another con? Like I said, I had difficulty thinking of ways that it could be bad to say no.
What do you mean by that?
You know how I said some of the cons, we're going to go over some of the pros and cons of saying no, mm-hmm. And I had difficulty figuring out when would it be bad to say no to somebody.
Well, here's the thing, and of course, as this show always does, life hands us, great material to work from. I have a relative who's a drug addict, and one of the biggest things, it's like I don't take the calls, which is to prevent me from feeling the story, mm-hmm. But then of course I'm the bad guy because I don't care about my family and I side with everybody else, but I don't want to enable them either. They know they need to get help, mm-hmm. And, now this person is locked up and needs bail money. I'm not going there. It ain't happening. It's not coming from me. So
No,
I'm gonna
not
come
if it was
get
on some
you.
drug shit.
I'm
No,
gonna
I
go
said
get
if it's on some
Andres.
drug shit. Now, here's the thing. There's certain things I'm not posting bail money for. There's some things I'm not posting bail money for. If you just decided at 40-something years old you're going to start being a damn crackhead, your ass needs to sit there and think about it. Because you should not be no such thing as no damn new crackheads. I don't understand new drug users. I don't get new drug users. You know, I don't get it. So you need time. You need a timeout, goddammit. So you need
And
to
see
sit
now,
and think
with
about it.
that example, just because you said that and because it was Andres, I'll be like, but KiKi, how can we just let him sit there? My dumb ass, for real. I ain't gonna even lie on this show or to you or to Chan, because y'all know my dumb ass would take my ass down to the county and go get Andres. Yes,
But
I
my
would.
question would be, I would have a series of questions. My questions would be, if you said it was a drug arrest, okay, was it for using? Was it for selling? What was the drug use? What was the drug charge? Right?
Right,
So
right.
if they say some shit like distribution or trafficking, I'll probably try to come up with the money, right? But if they talk about use, I'm like,
I'll be like, we
oh
gotta
no,
get
man.
him some help. And it's
Uh,
new.
we,
You know,
He can
see,
get help
stuff
for
like that.
free. He can get help for free in jail. That is above my pay grade. I don't do drugs. That's not my field of expertise. I don't do drugs. Let the professionals, the people who handle that. And that's, you guys, that's a perfect example of when Sporty could have very easily tried to pull on my heartstrings, and I'm like, well, yeah, it is Andreas. Andreas made a decision, and Andreas knows KiKi's feelings about putting bail money. I may as well go and set money on fire if I'm putting bail money up for a drug addict. I may as well wipe my
This
ass
is
with
true.
money if I'm putting money up
This
for
is
it.
true.
So no, don't call me. I tell people that all the time. Don't call me to come visit you. Now, if you happen to be in a facility that has the video visitation, you all good, baby. I'm video calling you every chance we can get. But in terms of going there and they have to violate my person in the way that they do when you visit those correctional facilities, I'm not with that. Nope, I ain't coming to visit you. Well, if your ass get arrested on some drug charges, I guess you'll never find out because you won't be seeing that money. You won't be seeing that money. Let me check out what's going on in Twitter. What's Twitter? Am I from Jersey with Twitter? What's that?
I was gonna say, girl, you got that twang right there now. Go on, get your coats together.
Twitter. What's happening? Some of the tweets that are coming in. It says, I'm not bailing nobody who got caught by, prostitution stings. If you get caught, I ain't putting no bail money up for you buying some strange. I would rather you go pay some girl you already messed with. But I know sometimes it's easier to pay for a hooker because they'll go away once you pay them. I get it. It depends. It depends. Now, if you married,
I don't get it.
What you mean you don't get it?
Why do you gotta pay for ass? That's
Cool, we going down a rabbit hole.
I got you.
Yeah, I'm like, we going down a rabbit hole. But yeah, again, when you paying for it, you paying for it to go away. You ain't really paying for the pleasure of it because you can get the pleasure of it anyway. You paying for that shit to
I
go
ain't
away.
never heard that. That's different, but okay.
Ask the man in the chat room. Ask
No,
the man
I
in the
believe
chat
you.
room.
I've just never heard it explained that way, but okay, I get it. Because I wondered why.
Yeah, they paying her to go away. They don't want the emotional connection. They don't want somebody trying, why you ain't called me. Your hooker ain't gonna ask you how come you ain't called them. They don't give a fuck.
Mm-hmm.
The sooner they done with you, the sooner they can be on to the next job, so they can make the next month,
something
get
else.
the next. Yeah, so they, that's what they paying for. They paying for the convenience of you to go the hell somewhere else, out of their face.
So what does
Wes
mean in your chat room? Every man pays.
He means the truth. Every man pays in one way or the other. You know I say it all the time.
Mm-hmm.
I say it all the time. That is why I tell people when they ask me, let me know when you free. I guess you won't be talking to me because I ain't never free. It's going to cost you something. You might want to ask me my availability. I'm just saying. Now, let's get back to the power of no. Not the power of the PSs, the power of no.
Oh, Lord.
One of the tweets that went out, that our lovely intern, by the way, who is not feeling well,
Aw.
she's a rock star and still did her job from the emergency room. Can you believe that?
Oh, my God. And she's in emergency?
Not anymore. She's actually checked in, but I ain't telling all her business. But I'm gonna talk about her ass and the power of no a little bit later. Anyway,
She don't have it.
she has the power. She just doesn't use it.
But who am I to talk? Go ahead.
One of the tweets that came up is, have you ever felt like you were being pushed around? My question to you guys, have you ever felt like you were being pushed around because of your inability to say no? And you can go ahead, Sporty, and then I'll go to Andrea.
Yes. And it was a lesson I had to learn last year. And this was in business. And the lesson was, people who want work done or a consultation or, a client or whatever, and I would let them go without paying up front because of us working together or whatever the case may be. And then it comes to a point where they owe me money and then they still need work done and all of this. And I had to stop and say no, because you already owe, or no, because I'm not doing any favors for people anymore who take advantage of my kindness. And so it was costing me financially, and it was costing me emotionally, allowing people to think it was okay to say, oh, well, Sporty will do it, or oh, well, Angel will do it because, she will, and I'll get to her later. And when I finally start saying to people, like, you have a day job, and if your employer comes to you and says, you know what, we can't pay you all this pay period because, my kid is sick, or because I need to go shopping, or because vacation, or whatever the case may be, you're going to have a fit that you put in your 40 plus more hours a week, and you're not getting your money for the work that you've done. That's the same way I feel. So if you can't stand behind that premise, then no, I can't be bothered with you. And I've stuck to my guns with that professionally because it's been a pain in the ass. But it's cost me, Well,
it hasn't. It cost you for letting them push you around, or it cost you as a result of saying no?
It cost me. It cost me financially for saying no, because I've had to release what they've owed me and say, F it, I know I'm not going to see it, to a few of them. And it cost me a lesson to be learned, which is not a bad thing, because I needed to be able to stand up for myself and say, you're not going to treat me and the quality of my work that way. Mm-hmm. So, the cost was good one way, and, so I earned something and I lost something. So it balanced itself out.
Well, here's in one way. Let's look at it like this. Just playing devil's advocate here. Did you really lose the money? And what I mean by that is that if you allow them to not pay you and you continue to work for them, did you really think that you were actually going to get that money? So did you really lose that money?
I genuinely thought I was, KiKi. I really did.
Okay.
I genuinely thought I was going to get it.
And ladies and gentlemen, and I'm just going to use this scenario as an example. That is a lot. That happens a lot to people. And it goes a little deeper than actually thinking they're losing the money, right? Mm-hmm. And this has a lot to do with when we talk about the law of attraction, and we talk about we have to be very careful about what we put out into the universe, right? So what was happening in that situation, and a lot of people miss this, what was happening in that situation, by not invoking the power of no, you actually put out to the universe that you had a lack, right? That you felt somehow you would lose. And what happened was the universe gave you exactly what you asked for. Had you been willing to release it immediately, you would have taken time, that time that you wasted doing work for free for somebody else, you could have been taking on another client in abundance. So you put out lack and you got lack back. Make sense?
Clear. Makes a lot
All right,
of sense.
ladies and gentlemen, Andreas has joined the video. What in the hell has happened? He's sitting there, man, that door you sitting by, man, that's a serious lock on that door, baby. You don't want nobody coming up in that mofo, do you? I can't hear you if you talking. All I do is hear he is giggling.
He is so silly.
Andreas, you need to turn your volume down on your stream, baby.
I know. That's what I'm trying to do now.
Okay, go ahead and do that. He's so excited to actually be here on the stream. He don't know what to do with himself.
Right?
While he's getting his life together, I'm gonna start this. I'm gonna start this. I see we got a call from Tejas on the line. I think I know who it is, but I'm gonna go ahead and do the drink of the week first.
Okay.
Before I actually do this, so let me start this cast for the drink of the week. We're going to see what happens here if my thing will do what I ask it to do. So ladies and gentlemen who are joining us on Periscope, hey guys, can you see my stream on Periscope? I hope you can. What's up, Sarah James 15? It is that time of the show where we do our drink of the week prepared by our producer, Cousin Chan. And let me tell y'all something. Oops, she did it again. What's up, E. Woodard? She did it again. Our producer is a beast with the libations, ladies and gentlemen, and she never ceases to amaze me when it comes to doing her thing. And I'm going to let her tell you guys about her drink, and then I'll show those on Periscope what the drink looks like for those of you guys who are watching us on YouTube or listening to us. Go to facebook.com/playingdevilsadvocate, and you will be able to see the drink of the week. You'll be able to get the ingredients, and you should try it out and let Cousin Chan know what you think about it. But hang on tight, guys. I need to let her tell you all about it. So, Cousin Chan, take it away.
Hey everybody, tonight's drink of the week is called Not a Punch. Alright, tonight's drink of the week we're going to use a cup of tequila, a cup of Campari, a cup of tangerine juice, and 1.5 cups of seltzer water. And what we're going to do with this is, in a large pitcher or punch bowl, combine the Campari, tequila, tangerine juice, stir, and then top it with seltzer. Add ice, stir to combine, and drop some tangerine wedges for more flavor. And there you have it. Not a punch. All right, guys. Be safe. Enjoy. Drink responsibly. I'll see you next week.
As usual, she never fails to do her thing. Not a punch. I think she said seltzer water. Do people even use seltzer water? Do people even use seltzer water anymore?
Probably.
I don't like it.
Grain outline.
All right, for those of you guys who are watching us on Periscope, thank you for joining. That was our drink of the week, Not a Punch, by our producer, Cousin Chan. If you want to follow her on Periscope, she is Da Original Truth. That's D-A Original Truth. Follow her on Periscope. Same thing on Twitter. And she's Cousin Chan on Facebook, so you might find her drinks there as well. So if you want to be a part of our conversation, we're talking about the power of no. If you want to be a part of our conversation, go on over to facebook.com/playingdevilsadvocate. Click our link to watch us on YouTube. We are streaming live, and we have an interactive chat room over there. If you want to be a part of the conversation, you can call us at 347-237-5271. If you have something to say, you can press 1. If not, just listen. I'll see you guys on Periscope later. Back to the rest of our show, guys. All right. So now that we've gotten that part out of the way, we can go back to our lives over here. My funky British accent.
Is that where we're going?
Actually, we're not, clearly, because I didn't do a very good job of it.
Okay.
Hopefully, Andreas has gotten his life.
I've got my life. I'm in the act of everything. We are only politicking.
Whoop, all right. Yeah, that's
Yay.
what I'm talking about. So, we have a caller, ladies and gentlemen, and I would be remiss in my duties. He hasn't been here in a while, and he usually shows up around this time because you know tax season is around the corner. Ladies, let me get an intro for him. Is this Rocky Miller?
For sure. What's going on?
Man, what up, Rock?
Hey, Rocky.
What's going on, man?
What's going
Hey
on?
guys.
Man?
What's up, Rocky? I got a question for you. Are you somewhere where you can get on the stream with us? Well, I'm going to ask our producer to send you the link so that you can go ahead and be a part of our stream as well, so that we can see your lovely grill, because I know you're rocking some Prosperity Tax Service paraphernalia right now. I know you are. But tonight we are talking about the power of saying no, the power of no, being able to say no. And Sporty and Andreas have both shared with us how they have both said no when they said yes when they really wanted to say no, and how it actually worked out for them. I'm going to read a couple of these comments in the chat, and while you think about some of the a time that you may have said yes when you really wanted to say no, and how it came about. I see that someone in the chat room said, beware of the weekend folk discount. Unfortunately, too many black folks will try to guilt you into doing stuff if you initially say no, that you don't want to do it. They said, welcome back, Andreas. They said they would try the drink of the week, but they're such a lightweight it would probably knock them on their ass. Messing with Chan, that's why we have hashtag don't drink with Chan. It is not for the faint at heart. Trust and believe. That is not a game you want to go and play. So Rocky, you tell me, when was the time that you said yes when you really wanted to say no? And what happened? What came of that?
I'm gonna go back to kind of hit on what 40 hit on about when you're conducting business with people. When we first opened our business as tax practitioners, we went out recruiting business and trying to get people to trade with us. And I don't know why, but the first people that you end up with are people that are looking for something for nothing.
You are now off the host queue.
Sort of out of desperation, sort of out of ignorant exuberance, we took on some of these something for nothing people. And those are not people that you can build a business with as customers. And that's one of the lessons that I learned. And Sporty will attest to this. One of the things that I mentioned to Sporty about regarding our business partnership, you cannot ever go into a transaction with a customer not knowing what the money situation is going to be. That has to be spelled out from the get-go.
Yep.
And everybody has to acknowledge their end of the bargain. Otherwise, there's lots of people, if the money is ambiguous, it'll be ambiguous long after you've done your part.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, you have to put you know what? That's the best way to find out if people are serious or not is to put that paperwork in front of them. And you spell out the terms. True. And that was one of the things that we talked about before we go down the rabbit hole a little bit more. That was one of the things that we talked about last week on the show when we were talking about that pre-cop. That's something that sets the terms real clear, and you'll find out how invested. That's also another reason why, with my book, understanding the terms of engagement and how important that is. When you know what the guidelines are, after knowing all the little rules and regulations, if you still say, you know what, I want to go ahead and do with this, at least you know what it is and you know what it's going to cost you and you know what the rules are, or you say, you know what, that's just too damn much. I ain't finna do all that, and you walk it off.
Either way, your eyes are open.
either way, you go ahead, Rocky.
Occasions when I should have said no in relations, and I said yes for a number of reasons. So I was
The booty heads, boy.
We got a couple people who admitted to that in our chat today. They were saying that they should have in marriage said no. Do you take this woman to be your lawfully wedded wife? No, and they didn't. They've said that, so I completely understand what you're saying. But some of the pros, we're talking about the pros and cons of actually saying no in the situation. And what I think is interesting is that some people think that a negative thing about, and somebody actually hit me with this one, so I'm just going to use their example since I said I was having a difficult time trying to figure out why it would be a bad thing to say no. If you say no, right, some people are saying no for the wrong reasons, right? Sometimes people say yes for the right reasons. And I'll put it this way. You can say yes to something that you really want to say no to because you're putting them in your side pocket for later. Meaning, they're your ace in the hole should you, but you just want to have that good deed on your record so you can pull that out when you need something. That would be for not so. But it's true, right? So a con to that is that you said yes when you should have said no because your intent was all screwed off. So when the time comes for you to basically call in that marker from that person and they don't have what it is that you need or they don't have a problem with saying no, guess what? You're left holding the bag. Yep, you're left holding the bag with an attitude. And that's usually when I did such and such for you comes out. People don't usually use that, I did blah, blah, blah for you unless they did it with the intent of you doing something for them. If they did it for you because they just did it for you, you never hear about it again.
Well, I have a con for you, Kiki. Okay. What about saying no to your spouse or significant other?
In terms
and I don't mean sexually. I don't mean sexually. I mean, for whatever reason, Rocky, have you ever had to tell Keisha no for something that she wanted?
And I don't know if you guys agree with this, and it may be something you guys hit on earlier. But here's one thing about the word no. No also establishes a baseline of respect in a relationship, whether it be business or personal. No set boundaries and limitations, whether it be business or personal. So as a person who with my nature is to please people, no is a word that I often use to either snap myself out of it or get me out of a relationship where it's where I'm the only way they want to have the relationship is if I'm on the giving end. You understand what I'm saying?
Yes. Right. I mean, it definitely does set a standard. So in terms of your question, Sporty, is it when it could be bad to say no to your spouse? You have to. Because if you just let people get away with anything, right? It's just like those situations where you have women and men in a relationship and you have a woman who's sending her representative and she's misamenable to everything. Everything he wants to do, she does it. Even though that ain't something she's interested in. And she never speaks up about it. And she's constantly saying yes to everything and never says no. So the moment that she steps up and says, you know what, nah, you know, or she gives pushback, he's looking at her like, what the hell are you talking about? Like, why is it a problem now? It wasn't never a problem before. The problem is it was a problem before. I just was dishonest and didn't tell you that I wasn't with this shit, right? So you have to establish those boundaries from the onset. Now, saying no just for the fuck of saying no, that's some asshole shit. And you probably won't have too many people around you very long. You know, I mean, I laugh and joke about the fact that my first instinct is to say no. That's my first reaction. I have to digest stuff. I have to process stuff. My first instinct is to say no. Because in my head, I'm like, nah, I don't know if I even want to be bothered with that. Because when you say yes, you have to deal with everything that comes along with saying yes. And if you're not completely engaged or completely invested in that yes or everything that comes after that yes, you're going to have a problem.
Mm-hmm. My thing is, if she says no after she's been saying yes, she cheating. She cheating.
Well, it depends. What is she saying no about? You crazy son of an ass.
Kind of scenario, but I think Andreas brings up a very, 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 very good point.
Thank you.
About how if you're in a relationship and a person says no, it should reset everybody's ability to let them know that whatever we're doing is over. You know what I mean? But I find that in conversations with men, they find that highly offensive. I don't know that I find it highly offensive, other than I find it kind of inappropriate. But at any point, anybody should have the right to change their mind in any circumstance.
Right. If I have the, because people don't think about it like that, because as human beings, we're self-serving. We're all, you know what I mean? It's about me, right? So you had a right to say, change your mind from no to yes, because it benefits me. You don't have the right to say, go from yes to no, because then that don't fucking benefit me. So yeah, I'm going to have a problem with it. Right? So we got in a lot of, can y'all hear me?
Yeah.
Very well.
Yeah, I hear you just fine.
Oh shit, there's Rocky. So yeah, you know, a lot of times people don't think about that, and a lot of times when we end up saying yes when we want to say no, is because we're thinking so much, like I said before, we're thinking so much about the other person and not thinking about ourselves. We're not thinking about ourselves, and for whatever that reason is, maybe you don't want to hurt somebody's feelings, but then the follow-up question to that is, why? Why don't you want to hurt their feelings? I mean, I understand that that's not a nice thing to do, but why are you so invested in sacrificing you for them, right? Why would you go to that extreme? And then if it's like, oh, okay, well, I'm doing this quid pro quo. I'm doing this for them so they can do something for me, right? Then you have to examine your motives and intentions there, you know? And then if you're saying yes because you don't know how to say no, because a lot of people don't know how to say no. As simple as that word is, a lot of people struggle with just saying no, nah.
No.
You know, there's so many ways.
It seems to me like some people take it as a negative thing. I'll never forget, I have a really good friend of mine. His name is Jason, and he did one of our best friends, you know, he asked him, he's like, you know, hey man, I need you to take me such and such place, because he doesn't drive, but he always wants us to, you know, take him somewhere. And he said to him, you know, take me somewhere. So he's like, no. He said, well, dang man, why not? You busy, you work? He said, no, I just don't feel like it. You know, and I looked at Jay and I'm like, really, that's your answer? He said, what the hell is wrong with my answer? He said, no, I don't feel like it. I don't want to pull the truck out today. You don't have any gas money. I'm not going. I said, well, damn. No? I said, okay. And that's what he said to him. And he was like, all right, I can respect that. That's how you feeling today. No problem. We'll try this again tomorrow. You know, but the next day they had a whole different conversation. Dude, I got $20. Can you run me such and such place? Sure, no problem. You know, and I'm just like, oh, okay, I got you. So they worked that out, but he had no problem with saying, I just don't feel like it. No. He don't have to give a reason for your no. If you want to say no, you can say it.
That was actually one of the questions that came up in chat. It says, I have a question. When you say no to someone, do you need to explain your reason? I'm guilty of feeling obligated to explain my reason for saying no. No. You don't have to say why. Why you laughing, Rocky? Why you laughing, Rocky?
No.
Right. Well,
You
see,
can't do
here's the
nothing but
thing.
respect that.
But here's the thing, though. You know, hang on. In terms of his question, though, even though I was being, you know, flippant by saying no, you don't have to give a reason. You don't owe anyone an explanation other than yourself as to why you're saying no. Would you give them an explanation?
Their first question.
Hang on, though. Do you have to give them an explanation when you say yes? No. So here's the thing. If I tell you no, you don't have no fucking right to question me on my why. No, that's the end of the story. Because you didn't say, KiKi, could you give me a ride to such and such? And if no, why? No, you didn't ask me that. So, bitch, don't come back trying to, no, because no.
No, bitch.
It's like, no. You know, because here's the thing. When you open, that person says, well, why? And be like, do you want to know the politically correct answer or the real answer? I don't want to fucking be bothered. I don't want to be stuck in traffic. I don't really like you. Or you don't never call me till you want shit, so no. Your favorite train has come to an end. Whatever the fuck, right? So no, just no, you don't, like, no. I'm not available. Mm-hmm.
Right.
Well, here's the thing. When somebody tells you no, they will try to make you feel bad for you telling them no. Right? Yeah. You know, they're like, oh, man, because I had to do blah, 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 and I really wanted to do. You know what? When you say,
True.
For me, no is the end of the conversation. Right? Because when you start engaging in all that extra conversation, now you get somebody, now they know they got your ear and they can possibly change your no to a yes. If you want to say no and mean it. Never say yes and not mean it. Say no and mean it. It's okay. Uh-oh, Cousin Shin got her hand up.
Okay. And I know I'm sitting here in my do-rag and everything, but I got a question. Inside of you saying no, do you or do you not think that maybe they deserve a reason on why you're saying no? Not that you owe them that, but deserve a reason so that way next time they think about that shit, they know what the answer already gonna be, so you can say no to something else. You don't have to keep saying no to the same shit over and over and over again.
So what should you do? Just say no to everything?
No, that's not what she's asking. She's asking if you were to just say no because I don't take people any place on Tuesdays because that's my day of prayer. I don't know, like, right? So then they know never to ask you for a fucking ride on Tuesday. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. Or no, because I just don't fucking feel like it. Yeah,
right.
I mean,
whatever. You give them a reason, right? That's subjective. And the reason why I say it's subjective is because I think that would depend on the relationship you have with that person. If I don't know you all that well, or I don't talk to you all that much, and the only fucking time you call me is when you want some shit, I don't owe you a fucking thing but no. But if you were to say to me, Chan, Kiki, hang on. But here again, I don't owe you that, and I know you said it's not. Don't they might want to have their heads up so they don't ask it next time. But if you, Chan, were to come and say, Kiki, can you go do this, and because I got to do such and such. Only what I would say, no, Chan, I can't do it. I got a migraine today, and you'll be like, oh, okay, right,
I get that. But let's say you are that person that only calls me when you fucking need something. Don't I owe it to you to let you know why? I mean, I don't owe you, but don't you think that it would be simpler just to go ahead and say, no, bitch, you don't call me for nothing else. Why the hell you calling me for this shit today? Or am I being a Chan hole?
You are being a Chan hole. No. You are being a Chan hole. However, you are well within your rights to say that if that's what you so choose.
Right, and that keeps them from coming back every time. Oh, well, she thinks that I don't feel da-da-da-da-da.
No, it won't. Because now what they going to do, here's the, because 9 times out of 10, if that motherfucker is one of those resource vampires, what they're going to do is now they're going to call you more to try to make it look like they calling just to see how you doing so that they can pull in that favor. And there are a lot of mofos who are like that. And you just have to be a little bit more conscious about who you're saying yes and no to. That's why I was saying it's the power of the no and knowing how to use that power responsibly, using those powers for good. Go ahead, Chan Ho. She knows she being a Chan Ho. For those of you guys who are not watching on the stream, she got her hand up like Arnold Horseshack. She don't never talk this damn much. Go ahead, Durag. Say what you got. Okay.
So wouldn't it just be more easy? Wouldn't it just be easier just not to pick up the phone? If you already see this person calling,
you can.
If you already know what they're about, you ain't even got to say no. You just don't talk to me at all.
But they could just be calling and say, hey, Chan, how you doing? How would you know?
They can leave a message. They can say it to my voicemail. That's what it's there for.
Damn, you mean, Chanzilla.
And I'll send them a text, say thank you very much.
But here's my thing about what Chan is saying, and I don't necessarily always agree with her Chan holisms, but I'm going to say this. It makes a whole lot of sense. You know, why can't you just avoid the whole situation altogether if you don't want to be bothered with it? If you know they on some bullshit, and you know they getting ready to come to you with some other new drama story, some other sad story that you're going to have to listen to, and you know you're going to say no, then why even put yourself through the bullshit to begin with? So you wrong for just saying no up front. No, I don't even want to hear the conversation before you even get the chance to say no to whatever the hell the situation is. The answer is just no.
Because I'm going to tell you the truth. There's a small group of people who I even talked to in the first place. So there's an even smaller a number of people that I would say no to. So if it's anybody extra and I already know you on some BS, I'm not even answering the phone.
Well, I don't do. I mean, if
Your Facebook, I'm not doing none of that shit. I'm not doing it.
Never.
That's my no.
And see, I like that no. That's the no I adopted for this year, believe it or not. Why even be bothered if you going, what you call it, the vampire, KiKi? What do you call it?
energy and or resource, the energy vampire or resource vampire. Mm-hmm.
Right. If you're going to be that and I know that's what you're going to be, then why fuck with you in the first place? I'm going to send you the voicemail or delete you.
Well, I mean, yeah. I mean, again, there are a myriad of ways of handling no. Some people, playing devil's advocate, some people would say, sending people to voicemail and just somewhat avoiding interaction with them would be passive aggressive. I'm not one of those people. Some people might not get the hint. They'll keep calling you, thinking the more they call you. You can't. One thing. Let me say this for the record.
Okay.
If you're calling me and you want something from me, calling me and calling me and calling me and calling me incessantly is not going to make me call you. What that will do is make me not call you, because your fucking emergency does not dictate an urgency to me. Right? So you can't make me fucking talk to you.
No.
And it's disrespectful because you don't know what I'm in the middle of what I'm going through, that you're so fucking self-absorbed that you're going to keep fucking ringing my phone off the hook. Send me a message and say, hey, I've been calling you for a couple days, just making sure that you're okay. When you get a moment, reach out to me. That I'll respect. But if you just think you're going to fucking keep calling me until you fucking call me into and pry me into submission, no, it's not going to happen.
Damn disrespectful.
Never.
Just damn it. Damn disrespectful. Kick him in the knee.
Okay, that's my new favorite word, resource vampire, just like Natty Natty Boo Boo. Oh.
I know, right? You giving out some good ones this week, ma'am.
Yeah, I am dropping some nuggets. Yeah, exactly. They said that no to a word, the word no to a resource vampire is like sunlight to a real vampire. It burns them when they're exposed to it. Absolutely, and hopefully it'll kill them the fuck off like Raid. You want them to go away. You don't want those people, because here's again, the power in saying no is that you weed out those types of vampires who will suck you dry of your energy. And when I'm talking about energy vampires, let me explain what an energy vampire is. An energy vampire is a mofo who calls you and emotionally dump on you every fucking time they call you. They never ask you how you doing, and if you do, as soon as you start telling them, they somehow turn it back around to how fucked up their goddamn life is and how you can make it better. You know what I'm saying? Or what can you tell me? Or this, that, and the other. Those are fucking energy vampires, because they want to use all of your emotional energy, suck you, drive all of it, dump all that shit on you. They hang up the phone feeling better. You hang up feeling worse.
Damn, you just put a lot of feeling into that. You was just
because there are a lot of
poured it all out.
No, the reason why I say it so passionately is because as a coach, that happens a lot. That's my part of my job, for people to I'm their emotional city dump, right? They come dump all their shit on my lap. But I do that willingly because they're paying me. Right? So that's something I signed up for. I don't sign, which is why I don't take clients who aren't really interested in the process and getting better. When all they want to do is stew in that shit and keep stirring it. Now I'm gonna have to drop you as a client, because if you're not moving, I don't want to keep you on my payroll or taking up a spot from somebody, who actually needs the help when you're not interested in getting it. So if you're not on one of my client lists, I'm not going to let you fucking suck me dry of energy for free. Not going to happen. Not going to happen. That's what energy vampires do. Most of those are your friends and your family. And usually they end up being people that you don't end up talking to a whole lot, because every time they call you, ain't shit going right. Nothing. Ever. Woe is me, pity party. Sorry, I didn't RSVP. I'm able to do this one.
Not going.
I ain't going.
I ain't going. So let's talk about the benefits of saying no. You know, some of the cons of saying yes. Let me say this first. Some of the cons of saying yes when you really want to say no can take an emotional toll. It can take a financial toll, you know, as Leon, you know, mentioned in his experience earlier. And Andreas, you know about that as well. It can take a physical toll. And the person listening to this know exactly who I'm talking about. It can take a physical toll on you when you're constantly giving, 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 and never saying no to others and saying no to yourself. And you're not taking care of you. Because what's going to happen, what do they tell you on the airplane? In the case of loss of cabin pressure, the oxygen mask will drop from the sky. Please put your mask on before assisting anybody else, small children and elderly, right? That's so that you can help you, so that you can be a help to others. Because if you can't fucking breathe, you can't save this other person. And anytime you allow a motherfucker to take so much from you that you are now physically broken down and ailing, all they gonna do is they gonna act like a fucking bunch of vultures, and they're gonna be swarming around you and picking away at you and picking away at you until you fucking die from giving and never getting anything back to yourself and recharging yourself. And guess what? They gonna pick over your shit, and when you dead, they gonna figure out a way to find somebody else to fucking do it to. So for you people who don't know how to say no at the expense of your own physical health, not just your emotional health, but your physical. Because if you're not physically feeling well, that emotional shit ain't gonna happen. You can't keep yourself from getting depressed when you falling apart every place else, right? So at your physical expense, you allow people, and then when you're still physically down, right? They're still, can you do? Will you give me? Can I have? Will you take me? Can I get? Blah, blah, blah.
They don't know
blah,
when to
blah,
quit.
blah, 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 blah. Because you won't say no. You can say it in Spanish. No. You can say it in English. No. You can say it in German or Russian. Russian. Yet. You can say it in a whole bunch of fucking languages. No means no. That's one of the things we teach our daughters. No means no. We teach our boys that. When she says no, she means no. Stop. So no.
Sometimes she don't.
No always means no until she says yes. Yeah, okay? So I just want you guys to be conscious of the cons of saying yes at the expense of yourself. You have to learn to say no, like we talked about, to set boundaries. You have to learn to say no so that you can have time to recharge yourself. Because people will pull and take and take and take. Again, they will withdraw, and never make deposits. And if you allow them to continue to withdraw from you, you are going to be depleted, in the red, and their pockets, or their emotional pockets, their physical pockets, their financial pockets are going to be full, and you're going to be tapped out. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to get on my soapbox.
Hold on, wait. Let me drop the mic. Wait, let me drop the mic. Okay.
I'm sorry, but this is something that I'm really passionate about because I have a lot of people around me who have difficulty saying no.
Well, it's and
I find myself fussing at them.
Like you were saying, there are pros to saying no, and that's one of them. One of the things I will say, that physical stuff, it is such a relief to not have to be concerned about after you've told someone no, what the issue is. You can release it. It's like, okay, that wasn't my issue to deal with in the first place. I don't have to be worried about it anymore. It's gone. The answer is no. That's it. That's it. That's
and here's
all,
the thing. You can always say no and let me point you in a direction where you can go. I can't do it. No, but you might want to try such and such.
Right.
I'm saying if you're that kind of person where you still... Right, I'm saying like to people like Leon who said he feel guilty by saying no, right? You can say no But you know what? You might want to try this. You know they sell that down here, or you know they have a company that helps with those kinds of things. You know what I mean?
See, and that's something that I do. But that is something, like, because when you were saying about helping people or not the drug dealers or whatever, you can get help in jail for free. Why don't you go ahead and say and do that time? They can put you in rehab, and it won't cost you or anybody else anything. And then when you come out, you'll be ready to do what you're supposed to do. You know, and that's the kind of approach I've taken with this particular relative. Stay there. Get the help you need at their expense, and then you can finally do what you need to do for yourself, because I'm not going to do it.
Okay.
I'm just not going to do it. If you want to, but you know,
I'm saying if you want to, because he might feel, like he said, he feels guilty. If he feels guilty and you just want to do something to help them, but you don't want to do it, then point them in a different direction for another resource. But you don't have to tap yourself out and stress yourself the hell out because of them. You know? Can y'all not hear me? Oh.
We can hear you, but it's just that when you say something like that, it gets to the point where it's such a final point that what's to be said behind it, you know?
Oh, okay.
And it's not being, you know, I wasn't even being funny about it, but it's just like, it's one of those, it is what it is points, you know? That's like something else that someone just reminded me of that I was talking about earlier, was someone, they'll go to, they used to do this a lot between me and my ex, you know, they would ask him because they would ask me because they thought I was the nicer of the two, you know, that she'll be the one that says yes out of the two of them, because he's known for, if you go to him directly, he gonna say no. But if, you know, you go to her, you could probably work on her and she can get him to say yes, and y'all, you know, work it out. It took him to say to me, they coming to you because they know I'm going to tell them no out the gate. So my automatic response eventually was, you know what, you got to talk to him. Or let me talk to him first. That was my no. Let me talk to him and then he'll get back to you. I already know he's going to tell you no.
Well, you know,
people who try to play folks against each other, that shit right there really pisses me off.
Let me give you an interesting scenario in terms of that, them coming to you because they knew you were a softer touch. I found out from a vagrant, because actually I went off on one before. Okay. Because I couldn't understand why I'm walking with a man and you are man vagrant and you're going to approach me to ask me for money. First of all, as a man, and you see me with a man, you approach that man. You don't approach me. You don't disrespect him by approaching me as a man, right? So it pissed me off. And I went completely in on this dude. I'm like, look, I don't know what the rules of the streets are, but I will tell you the rules of life. You're not going to disrespect this man. Don't ever fucking address me first. Ever. Right? Now, if you don't, I mean, if you already know me and you see me, you be like, hey, Key, and then you say what's up to my dude first and be like, all right, partner, Andreas, and you shake his hand and then you come back to me, we're good. But if you come up to me and you just like, Kiki, and he's standing right there, you're disrespecting that man. So for that vagrant to go to that man, to come to me, walk up to me, hey, man, can I get 10 cents? Don't approach me. I'm a woman. I'm in the presence with a man. You approach him first. But I found out subsequently that the reason why they do that is because they automatically think the man is going to say no and that the woman is the softer touch. So they go after her because she's more likely to be empathetic and give them money. Well, I'm not that one, because you just messed up by disrespecting the man that I'm with, and I'm not going to allow a vagrant anybody do that, disrespect the man that I'm with. So also, I used to try to play the ends against the middle as a kid. You know, I would try to get the yes from my daddy because I knew Miss Dorothy was going to say, not just no, but hell no.
Right, same here. Same here.
So my dad, not ever wanting to say no to his baby girl, would say, Even if I'm living in his house, sitting on his couch, talking to him, he'll be like, ask your mama. No, ask your mama. She in another house across the city. Why I got to get on the phone to call her to ask her for some shit I'm asking you right now? And because he knew she would say no. He didn't want to be the bad guy. Again, you don't want to say no, point him in the other direction. Redirect that motherfucker's focus. Because trust me, they'll figure out a way to get it done. People who are constantly with their hand out, or if you really need something, you're not the person that's constantly taking something. If you are really in need of something, you become resourceful. You will figure it out. Or you will go without.
You're right. That makes sense to me because I definitely didn't understand for a long time. And it's like now when people try to do it, they'll come to me instead of going to him about something because they think he's going to say no, you know, and 9 times out of 10 he probably is. But they'll ask me first, well, what you think he'll say about why you don't ask him? And I would always wonder, why are people asking me what he's going to say? Why can't you ask him directly, you know? And I mean, this happens in business. People come to me and say, why ask him? No, you ask him. This is what you want him to do. I can't make him do anything that he doesn't want to do in the first place. If you already know he's going to say no, I don't have no resources to make him say no. My loyalty is to him, not you.
You talking about in business?
Yeah. Business and personal.
I'm like, well, in personal, you do have something to make him say yes.
Well, yeah, you know.
Look at Rocky's face.
When I think about that, that ain't gonna make him say yeah.
Right? Yeah, well, it might not be yes. It might not be yes to that question, but it's gonna be yes. It's gonna be some yes, some yes, something. Anyway, they're making fun of me. Talking about, so wow, KiKi went off on the vagrant. I feel sorry for him. I didn't go off on him because I wanted to be mean to him. One of my pet peeves is that people are rude. I don't like for people to be rude, and I think that's just rude and disrespectful to address a woman that's with a man and you're a man and you address her instead of him. Rocky, did you have something you wanted to say?
Did you get soft spoken? Did you get soft spoken right there, Rocky?
The other kryptonite.
Other stuff. Other stuff.
The sweet sticky thing.
That's why I think kids get over on parents with the no and swaying them because they suckers. I think daddies are suckers for little girls.
No, yeah.
Yeah. Shut up, Andreas. You the biggest simp when it comes to your daughter on the face of the earth. Knock it off. But, again, a parental no. Sometimes I think parents say no just for the fucking hell of it. And y'all can tell me, because y'all are parents, do y'all just say no just so they can get used to the fucking word no? Because I think my mama, too. I think Miss Dorothy, I actually think she enjoyed the look of disappointment on my face when she said no. I think she got some type of sick, twisted thrill out of it. Do y'all do that?
It depends on which kid is asking.
Ooh. Right. What about Sporty? You said it depends on which kid, and tell me why. You showing favoritism?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
I mean,
I've never heard a parent actually admit to that. Okay. Kermit is gonna sip some tea.
Yeah. My son, I'm not gonna even tell a lie. My son, at this point in his life, he can ask me for absolutely anything in the world, and if I can do it, I'm gonna find a way to get it done for him. Absolutely. Him,
Wow.
my godson, absolutely. My daughter, kick rocks and flip flops.
Okay. Andreas,
What's up?
are you more likely to say no to your sunshine or to the boys?
I would have to say I'm more. No, because Ashley's self-sufficient now and she makes her own dough. So yeah.
Open your
I would say
eyes.
no
I need you to open your eyes.
I would say no to the boys first.
What about your little sunshine?
I can't say no. I can't say
I know
no.
you can't. I know you can't say no.
I
That you
can't.
can. See,
I
here's
can't.
the thing: small, medium, or large, you got a soft spot for the estrogen.
Yeah,
You cannot
do.
say no. That's how you get caught up in these mini relationships. And I call them. Oh, I'm sorry, not mini, micro relationships. I just coined a new phrase: micro relationships.
KiKiism.
2 weeks.
That's the Kikiism. Andreas in his fucking micro relationships.
Oh my
They
God.
say, "Oh my God, you telling the truth." That's why I don't fool with my family. Always got some shit going on. Yes, and they will hit you with every sob story in the book. They will tell you about how when your mama was sick and they came and brought you chicken soup, how they took it, they did that for you. They will tell you that. You know what I mean?
Go.
Yeah. They'll tell you every damn thing.
Yeah, my sister is one person that I know. Hey, honey. My sister is one person I know that I can always rely on.
Your voice go up. Okay, for those of you, let me just stop this. Okay, thank you, Sporty, for her cameo. Thank you. But let me go ahead and say this. For those of you guys who are not watching us on the YouTube stream, first of all, let me say, for those of you guys who just may be joining us, this is Playing Devil's Advocate. I'm your host, Miss KiKi, the consummate provocateur, and today we're talking about the power of no. And if you're not watching us on the YouTube stream, you need to go to facebook.com/Playing Devil's Advocate. Click the link so you can watch. We were just talking about how it's difficult for Andreas to say no to the girls. It don't matter how old they are. And Sporty brought in her granddaughter and sat her on her lap. Andreas's voice, you just heard, go up like 6 octaves when he saw the baby. So if you want to be a part of our conversation, whether it's in our chat room, our interactive chat room, or via Twitter at PDA_Miss KiKi, or calling us at 347-237-5271. Go ahead, be a part of the conversation. We're here with Sporty Spunky Angel, Andreas, absolutely nothing like a Pimp Ferguson, because y'all saw how he turned into a pool of putty with the baby, and none other than Rocky Miller. We're talking about the power of no, and in a little while we're going to do our Ask PDA advice letter, but we want to continue. I want to talk a little bit more about this power of no and the importance of the power of no and wielding that power responsibly and knowing how to use it. I think it's important that it's kind of like when you say no. I know everybody's going to say, well, KiKi, why I would say no? What I want people to know, let me just put it this way. Why are most of you guys more willing to say yes at work to a mofo who wouldn't care if you fell off the face of this planet? You'll work those extra hours, you'll do all this other stuff, you'll deal with somebody else's bullshit, you'll kowtow follow, taking that's basically all yeses, right? But when it comes to your interpersonal relationships, your friendships, the spending time with somebody, it's like, well, no, I can't do this, I gotta work. Why can't you tell your boss, well, no, I can't do this? It's actually family weekend. I can't work overtime to put more money in your fucking pocket. You know what I mean? Why is it that it's easier for people to say yes in work situations than it is for them to say no in the situations that actually feed them emotionally.
Fear of losing their job, fear of, you know, some kind of underhanded way, you know, somebody else will get that promotion or somebody else will get that bonus or the opportunity to do something else. If you telling the boss no because something personal comes up for you, and knowing that the job doesn't care about your personal, you know, issues, it's completely fear. That's all that's about. Other
But
than
is
that, a
that
lot of people
personal?
would say
But here's the
no.
thing. Let me ask this. Hang on, Rocky. Let me follow up that question and then you can answer. But you said fear because it's your personal. But if you're asking me to come in on my day off, that's my personal fucking time. That time don't belong to you. You're asking me to give up something that belongs to me to benefit you. Why can't I say, why am I willing to say no? I'm not
Because
willing to
they're
say no.
banking on the fact that you're going to put your professional career ahead of your personal life.
I mean, I know what their intention is. My question is, why
Right.
would you? Okay, go ahead, Rocky.
I would say it's fear.
Yeah. Again, that takes me back. I'm going to read a couple of these comments. There, Xanadu says, I think that they're avoiding conflict when they're really creating more. Sporty's right about fear of losing one's job or risking a promotion. They're saying they can't hear you, Rocky, on the stream. So if you have your thing muted on your tablet where you're watching us, you need to unmute it. They're saying, personally, my family comes first, which is why I work for me and no longer corporate America. Rocky, can you hear me? You need to unmute your tablet.
Just fine.
Yeah, you got to unmute your tablet, baby. They can't hear you. And then I also see here, we think that that shit will get us noticed at work and lead to a positive outcome, aka a promotion. This takes me back. This question takes me back to what I was saying to you guys earlier, Sporty, when we were talking about you taking on work from a client who hadn't already paid you for the work that you had already done. It comes from a lack mentality. It comes from a lack mentality. And that lack mentality is, I'm not, okay, say they fire you because you don't want to work on your fucking day off. Or they don't want to promote you because you don't want to work on your day off. Do you not think that there's some other thing out here in the world that could provide for you? Right? If you don't think that you're good enough, if you're telling the universe that I can't have, then the universe is going to provide that to you. So if you have to be careful about the messages you put out there. If you're fearful, if you're putting fear out there, you're going to get yourself situations reflecting back to you that's going to pinpoint and highlight that fear. And those choices that you make won't be based on the choices that are in your best interest, but they will be in the best interest of feeding that fear or that lack mentality or, you know, whatever it is that's holding you back. So again, you cannot be afraid to say no to others, because saying no to others in essence says yes to you, because ultimately at the end of the day, the person that matters most is you. If you fell off the planet tomorrow, all these motherfuckers with their hands out wanting you to do something for them will find another mofo to do it, or they will do it themselves. So you can't be fearful of losing friends, family members, boyfriends, jobs, and all of that for saying no. Because if you work 86 hours a flipping week and you bring home, let's say, 75K, which is not a lot of money, right? You bring back 70 for 86 hours a week, right? You bring home 75K. But think about the 86 hours that they done build out at X amount of dollars that they're putting in their pocket. But you tired, you got all kind of health issues going on. You don't even have time to go to the damn doctor because you working 86 hours, for them. When you fall apart or have a fucking stroke, do you think them motherfuckers are going to do anything other than call 911 and step over your goddamn body?
Nothing.
And I find that a lot of people, KiKi, in that situation, work that hard or show that kind of dedication because they want to seem invaluable to the process or to the business. When in all actuality, when you work for a corporation or a government entity, they open the position up knowing that everybody who applies and is hired is absolutely replaceable. So never get caught up in your own individual value or essential or your the necessity of you being part of the process or the system, because again, when they open the position up, when they create the position, they create it for someone who is interchangeable or replaceable.
Which is why, and we're not going to belabor that part of things, but which is why it is no longer called human resources. It is human capital, ladies and gentlemen. I want you to think about what that means. Human capital. So start saying no. Okay, and another thing, you want to work all these hours and not you saying no, I can't do this with your wife or your kids. I can't come to your recital. I can't come to your baseball game, or I can't come, support you at this, that, and the other to your wife or your spouse because you're working so hard over here, saying yes to them, yes to them, yes to them, and you saying no to them over here, the people that really feed your spirit, they feed you, fill you up. That's why you end up alone. You're going to die alone because your kid's going to be like, you ain't never spent no time with me growing up. Fuck you. I'm shoving your ass in the old folks' home, and you lucky if I come to see you. I'm only coming to identify your body so I can get my money. You know what I'm saying? Because there are a lot of people who are sitting in assisted living facilities or whatever, or, nursing homes that their grandkids, nobody ever comes to visit them. Some of them because they're a piece of shit, and some of them because they were mean and rude and all of that. And some people because they just felt like they didn't care about them. So you know what? You're persona non grata to me. So I'm not going to take that extra time to come and visit you. So again, you put out what you expect to get back, and then you can't say no and don't expect to get no's back.
True.
Right?
True.
So that's the flip side to all of this. You have to, as my mama used to say, if you're big enough to pass a lick, you're big enough to take one. So if you're big enough to say no, you have to be capable of accepting a no.
See, now let me ask you another question, Coach KiKi.
Okay.
Yeah. Just in that question alone, now I always tease, who about, I don't like the word no. Don't tell me no. And sometimes he will say, no, for whatever reason or whatever, and it's fine. But there are people who really cannot accept being told no and take it so hard or so personally. I don't even know how to effectively explain that. And it could be something as simple as, Andreas, give me a sip of whatever's in your cup or something like that. And he might say no. And I get bent out of shape about how you gonna tell me no. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So how do you address people who have that kind of reaction to something that simple?
I don't. Because again, I'm not rewarding your bad behavior with the response. right? Your inferiority issues, your insecurity issues have led you to act out because somebody told you no. That don't have nothing to do with me. So I'm not gonna deal with it. You deal with it.
So
That's
you're
your
not
issue.
gonna address. You're not gonna
I mean,
address
if
their
that's
sense of
directed at you?
entitlement.
Am I going to address it to her?
No,
I've
no, I'm
already
just
said
saying.
to you. I've already said to you guys previously. Your emergency does not dictate an urgency on my behalf. It's urgent to you, but it ain't to me, mofo. I don't address that shit. I'm not breathing life into that fucking dragon. That I have signed a DNR on people with their sense of entitlement and with people who have insecurity issues and they try to project them onto me. I do not resuscitate. I will not be doing no life-sustaining efforts to keep that shit alive.
So then that's what I'm asking. You know, you have people, you know, even in that case, just in that scenario alone, Andreas is somebody, you know, I see on a regular daily basis, you know, or talk to every day. So how does someone in his position deal with his everyday person?
He can be a chan hole. He can be a chan hole. Be like, bitch, you always talking about you swallow. You ain't putting your lips on my shit. I'm just saying. That better make you shut the hell up.
That's hilarious.
So people can be
at least now you know it. At least he know how to draw. Where you draw the line, you be like, okay, note to self. I can't. Andreas won't drink behind me. He'll be like, I'm gonna take this last sip.
Issue in real life, you know.
He'll be like, I take this sip and you can have what's left, but you can keep it.
You see, that's why we have our own cups.
Let me read this thing here. Hold on. Let me get this Periscope up for our Ask PDA letter.
Okay.
Y'all are funny. And I see your comment in chat. I'm gonna address it in just a second. As soon as I get this Periscope up. I don't know what Rocky is over there doing. He act like he don't know what the heck is going on. All right.
You can hear me. I'm sorry. I apologize.
Yes. All right. What's up, E. Woodard? We are about to do our Ask PDA letter, but I want to address some of the comments that we have in our YouTube stream that are on there. And I'm also going to check our Twitter as well. But what are they saying there? They said Rocky's voice. Okay, they already told me about that. They said strokes up. Okay. Right, exactly. They worked you to it, yeah. And then they said exactly. Xanadu said that you're gonna find themselves a new victim. They're gonna figure it out. And then they was talking about real talk when I told them it's no longer human resources, it's human capital. They said, unfortunately, I allowed my boss to change my no to a yes regarding coming to work on a Saturday. I chose my boss over my then fiance that day instead of going to the bridal expo. Is that the one that you married and it didn't work out that you should have said no for? Or did you not ever marry her? Because I should have done like KiKi said and chose myself over my job and said the hell with you to my boss, even if it meant being fired. My wife still reminds me of that incident. Oh, she did marry you. Lucky you.
Okay.
And here's the thing. It's not necessarily, what's up, Semi H? You don't necessarily have to be a chan hole, an asshole, or any of that. What's up, JWalko6? To say no to your boss. You could just say, I'm not available. You know, I have some things. Again, Rocky was absolutely on point when he said it's absolutely okay to you set the standard. Again, nobody can do to you what you don't allow them to do. So if you go into work and every time you drop everything to do what they want you to do, then you're going to be their go-to person to do it. And the day you push back will be the day they're looking at you like, you're not a team player when you've been playing team all along, right? So you set the standard. I don't work on weekends. I have family. I go to church on Sunday, so I'm not available for blah, 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 blah. What's up, everybody that's joining us on Periscope? That's what you do. You set that tone. I'm a team player Monday through Friday, 8 to 5:30. At 5:31,
I'm out.
These are the two figures y'all gonna get. You know what I mean? And that's what but you don't have to do it that way, but you just let your work speak for itself. You meet your deadlines in those time frames. You work within those parameters. You set the stage, because anyone, what's up, Karen L? What's up, Mr. Man Up? We're getting ready to do our Ask PDA letter in just a moment. We're finishing up. We're talking about the power of no. We're finishing up some questions and comments that came in on the in our YouTube chat, because we have an interactive chat over there. I need to check our Blog Talk chat because we got people over there chatting as well. They said, oh my God, you went there. Oh, talking about when I told you he wasn't going to let you drink his drink because he don't know where your mouth been because you don't swallow.
Mm-hmm.
Hey man, I just keep it 100. All right guys, it is time for our Ask PDA letter. Rocky, stand by. I'm going to mute everybody so that we don't get any feedback. What's up, MJ Della? God loves me first. We appreciate you guys for joining us for our Ask PDA letter. And before we get a chance to do any of that, we have to play the disclaimer. I think I just lost my Periscope stream, guys. Oh, poo! Can somebody, Chan, look, Cousin Chan, I need a Periscope. I need a Periscope, please.
Somebody's hand is up.
I don't know what happened. My stupid thing just said it didn't want to play. It didn't want to play well with us. And I know everybody on Periscope, all those people in there are like, what the hell? Can somebody please bring me a Periscope, please? Like it's an actual thing. Can you bring me a Periscope? It's logged into yours? Okay. Sporty, can you, when I get in there, can you send everybody over to us? I don't even know how to work this.
Yes.
I don't know. Whatever. All right, so I'm on Cousin Chan's stream right now, doing our Ask PDA letter. Hold on, let me put it right here. Maybe I can see it a little better. She got this loud. Can you come turn the damn volume off? You never drive. You don't do that damn video. Oh, that's so funny. Okay, anyway. Let me turn this down over here so y'all don't hear me over there. It's time for our Ask PDA letter. And it goes, oh, shit. All my damn technology is failing me right now. I apologize to you guys that are watching this clusterfuck happen right before your very eyes. It is time for our Ask PDA disclaimer. I'm going to shut the hell up so we can get that done and we can get this letter taken care of.
You will be offended by something said on our show. Playing Devil's Advocate is meant to be a forum for open, honest, and more importantly, judgment-free dialogue. The opinions expressed here may not necessarily be those of our hosts or the show in general, but we're willing to have the uncomfortable conversation so that we can heal and find solutions for our listeners and quite possibly ourselves. Enjoy the rest of the show.
You want answers? I think I'm entitled. You want answers? I want the truth. You can't handle the truth.
Woo-wee! Today's Ask PDA letter is being brought to you by our producer's drink of the week, and it is Not a Punch. So if you haven't had an opportunity to check out Not a Punch, now is your time to go to facebook.com, Playing Devil's Advocate, and you will be able to check out the drink of the week. We are simulcast on Periscope with Cousin Chan and myself. So let me get this drink out of the way before it is, the letter, before it is too late. All right, here's our Ask PDA letter. Shoot. I don't know what happened to it. Y'all, I lost the Ask PDA letter.
Too many drinks of the week.
Welcome to my life today, y'all. Here it goes. Basically, dear PDA, I'm ecstatic that you guys are having a discussion about the power of no. I was just asking talking to this about my wife. My wife is a loving, caring, kind-hearted woman who will give you her last anything if she felt that you needed it more than she. That is one of the things that I love about her, okay, and one of the very things that drives me insane about her as well. She's always there for everyone, her family, her friends, our kids, their friends, her church, the sorority sisters, and anyone else who comes along. She's a go-to person for everything and everyone all the time. We can never finish a meal, go out on date night, sneak a quickie without someone calling, needing her to do something for them. Here's my problem. All of this being there for everyone else is taking its toll on her physically, and none of these people that she's helped are ever around to help her when she's sick, tired, or needs to recharge. I don't have an issue with being there for my wife because that's what I signed up for. However, I did not sign up for all of these people who drained her and disappeared when she's needing to have a shoulder to lean on. PDA family, how do I get my wife to say no? Signed, she only says no to me. Welcome to everybody on Periscope. I appreciate you guys for joining us. I'm going to go ahead and keep this one quick because we only have about 5 minutes. If you don't want to miss any of what we're talking about here, you can either join us on our Facebook. On YouTube by going to facebook.com/playingdevilsadvocate, clicking the link and watching us on YouTube, or giving us a call at 347-237-5271 and pressing 1 so that we know you're in the queue and you have something you want to say. They're saying the hubby should give more to others. That's what they're saying in our chat. That is not going to be my advice to you. So she says no, only says no to me. This is my advice to you, sir. Support your wife. But you also need to have a very focused conversation with her and let her know the importance of how you need her to replenish her, not just for herself, but for the ones that she cares about. Because all of those people that she's helping in your time of need, and they cannot be of service to you in any way or provide support to your family, I know you're not giving to get, but when you do need it, you should be able to get something. And the burden shouldn't fall completely and solely on your family's shoulders when you've run yourself ragged for other people. So just have a very honest conversation with her. Let her know how you're feeling and that you don't want her to stop, you know, because you know that that's something about her personality and who she is. But at least, at least have her cut back so that she can be there for you. You can't even get a quickie? Come on, man. Because the phone ringing? Man, you better than me. I'd have threw that damn phone up against the damn wall and cracked it into a million damn pieces. I'm trying to get some, and he answered the damn phone. We got a problem. Houston, we have a problem. All right, I'll get ready to open up the mic. Anybody got anything different? Make it quick, guys. Andreas, your mic is open, and Angel, you're open as well, too.
Okay, well, this is what I have to say. Most of the time she's probably one to say no, but she can't. She should probably just say, look, ask my husband, and you can say that. That's all I got. Did that make sense at all or no?
That made perfect sense. Sporty? Okay, Sporty?
The only thing that I would say is the same thing that was told to me is don't let people use you completely up until there's none of you left.
All right, I absolutely agree with both of you guys and, of course, with myself. So, sir, please just have a conversation with your wife and let her know that you need her just as much as everybody else and even more. You married her, not the rest of them vampires. So good night to you guys on Periscope. Thank you guys for joining us. We appreciate you. Follow us on facebook.com/playingdevilsadvocate so that you can be a part of our conversation and get all the updates on when we will be doing our next show next week. Next week is actually my birthday weekend. We have a show planned. I don't know what it is because they told me to mind my damn business. I don't even know if it's about my birthday. I don't know, but y'all got to tune in to find out. So bye to you guys on Periscope. And my final thoughts to you guys right here on with the show, guys. They said someone burned the PDA letter. No. They said KiKi flipped the double bird. I'm sorry. Guys, learn to say no. It is a very powerful word. It is a very powerful tool. It doesn't make you a bad guy. It doesn't make you a tool to say no. What makes you a tool is when you say yes continuously and you don't want to, and every fiber of your being, your spidey senses, your inner self is telling you no, no, no. Follow your first instinct, trust yourself, and love yourself enough to say no to others. On behalf of Sporty Spunky Angel, Andreas, Rocky Miller for sitting in, our incredible invisible intern number 3, our producer, Cousin Chan, I'm Miss Kiki, the consummate provocateur. We thank you for joining us. We are out of here. We are out the door. We can't do no more. If there's anything else to do, what do they need to do, y'all?
Google us,
bitches.
That's right. Google us, bitches, unless you my mama. All right, y'all ready to have a Kiki?
Absolutely.
All right. Well, I'm ready to have a Kiki, too. All right, guys who are still watching me on Chan's Periscope, bye.